Hi guys, it's Ray. We've had a lot of questions about power wash in the comments lately from old videos. So I thought we would maybe refresh a power wash video. I'm actually going to do two separate videos. One I'm going to show, sorry, it's noisy, I'm outside. One I'm just going to show power wash double layered spray paint over a bare stainless tumbler with no epoxy in between. That's going to be this video. And then I pulled an old cup from the shelf that's going to be the next video going over epoxy. So we're going to do this one first. So I have just a plain stainless steel 20-ounce tumbler. I think this is one of the ones that came out of my new turners. And I'm going to start by just spray painting it however you want. Just make sure you get a full coat, full coverage. This one I'm just going to kind of do ombre blues. I do have a, got it. Okay, so I have 3 colors of blue on here. I'm going to let this dry thoroughly, and I forgot to grab my white spray paint anyways, so while this is drying, I'm going to go grab that paint. Okay, so here's where this is going to go one of two ways. I'm pretty confident doing my power wash right over my spray paint base. If you think you're going to mess it up and you're going to want to remove the power wash, that's where you're going to want to epoxy in between. But if it's just something simple, you can go ahead and power wash right over the plain spray paint. So I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing with this one, so I'm just going to go for it. So I have my power wash. I have white spray paint because I want white for the power wash on this one. If I had a Krylon navy or another navy, I was thinking about doing a navy bottom, but I couldn't find the navy I wanted. And then I just have water to mix. So anywhere you put the power wash is where your color base is going to show through. And you do have to move fairly quick because you don't want the power wash to settle. So just start spritzing it on. The further back you go, the more just bubbly it'll be. And I kind of want a lot of small bubbles on this one. And then take your white spray paint. And then grab your water and rinse it right off. So there's that. So the answer is no, you do not have to have an epoxy base to do a power wash. If you're doing it over glitter, yes, you're going to have it sealed with epoxy for it to be smooth. But if you're just doing spray paint, this is absolutely fine. So I'm going to let this dry thoroughly, and then we'll go inside and we'll finish this tumbler. Okay, so this is good and dry and ready for its coat. You do need to coat it before you put any kind of decal on it, just so if your decal has any kind of clear edge to it, it won't show. And if you were doing vinyl, you would risk pulling up the paint with your transfer tape. So definitely at this stage, put a coat of epoxy on. Okay, so this is ready. It is a little bumpy here because the cup started blowing bubbles. This is why I don't like the cups that have the seams, and I don't tend to buy them, but this one came with my turners, so sometimes the caps have trapped air and you get a little bit of that bubbling. It's not the end of the world, it's just not ideal. But I'm going to do the Fishing Life decal from Butterfly Lane Designs. And I'm going to put it fairly close to the top, just so it's going to lay flat. I don't want it over the curve. So I'm going to cut a little piece off, put that little piece back on, and try and get it lined up neatly and apply it using the hinge method wherever I want it. I think I'm going to put it over this piece. And it'll just get a coat or two of epoxy and it'll be done. So I will meet you back over at the turner to finish this one up. Okay, so we're going to get this one finished up. We're just going to get a thin clear coat on it. And it'll get one more coat after that most likely, but that'll be the end of it. So hopefully it's done blowing bubbles. Hopefully that's sealed. Otherwise, yeah. You can't ever tell until like final coat, unfortunately. So here we go. But I just wanted to get this one done because we didn't do any power wash all summer, I realized, and you know, it's now late September, so I figured it was time before I can't get outside and do one, especially since lately there's been a lot of questions about it. I'll watch on editing, and hopefully you could hear me over the outside noise. If not, I'll try and voice over or put text on the screen to explain anything that I feel might have been missing. Yeah, this is just a very thin coat. So there we go. I'm going to let it spin for a minute, and then I'm going to give it a quick torch, and that'll be it. And I don't so far see any bubbles blowing, so that is excellent. I'm going to be super careful torching over the decal. So that's it for this one. A paint on paint power wash with no epoxy in between. Again, put epoxy in between if you're not comfortable with power wash or you're afraid you're going to mess it up. That way you can wipe it back off if you don't like the effect. But if you're comfortable doing it, I mean, worst case, you're just wiping the paint off and starting over. So there you go. That's it. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you next time.